Hi, my name is Lauren, and I study evolution and development of marine invertebrates.
Hi, I'm Jorge, and I study how insects use appendages other than their wings for flight stability.
In this short video, we will provide some advice on how to maintain a healthy work-life balance and how to navigate mental health challenges during your PhD program. Although graduate school is, for the most part, an exciting and intellectually stimulating experience, it can also be incredibly emotionally taxing. This is because there is no roadmap for how to come up with a novel research question and design experiments to address it. If there was, these projects wouldn't be novel. And without a map, it's challenging to know if you're making progress towards your goal. And you're probably unlikely to take the most direct route.
As a PhD student, you will probably ask yourself, am I making progress toward my degree? Do I need to work more? And is my advisor satisfied with my work? Not knowing the answers to these questions can leave you feeling anxious and might make you question whether or not you even belong in the PhD program. This anxiety may be greater for graduate students who obtain their bachelor's degrees in a field or a country different from their graduate work. Also, different scientific fields have different measures of productivity. All these things are aspects of the infamous impostor syndrome, and almost all PhD students will experience this at some point. Feeling this way is normal and does not mean you are doing graduate school wrong.
So, how can you avoid and overcome these challenges? The first step is to realize that you are not alone. Most of your colleagues are facing all of the same challenges, and they will often be struggling as well. This may not be obvious because most people don't feel overly comfortable talking about the challenges of mental health experienced in graduate school. When we're in new environments, we also tend to compare our struggles to the highlights of other people's lives. But remember that everyone completes their PhD at a different pace. Sometimes your analysis fails, or your mutants die, or your advisor goes out of town for months, and you don't know if you're making forward progress. But this won't define how successful you are.
We encourage you to establish a support group. This can be among your colleagues or friends outside of the academic setting. Once you establish relationships, you will eventually become comfortable enough to talk with them about mental health challenges with them. And I bet you will both benefit from these conversations. It is important that you build these friendships with other colleagues so that you can offload some of your stress. Attending departmental retreats, joining committees, attending seminars, and joining intramural sports are great ways to do this.
Not knowing whether you're making progress can lead you to think that you need to work more or harder, or all the time. In research, there is literally always more work to be done, and you have a long to-do list that never gets any shorter, and this is not a sustainable strategy. It is critical for your personal well-being that you schedule some time for non-work or non-science related activities, whether those are going hiking or doing something outside, playing video games, or hanging out with people where you don't discuss work. Taking this time off from work allows you to return to work refreshed.
It is important to get outside and take advantage of sunny weather. You will be amazed at what a half hour of sunlight can do for your mental health, especially in places with long, dark winters like here in Seattle. Another important consequence of working too much is that you spend less time outside. The resulting lack of vitamin D can significantly affect your mood and leave you feeling tired or a little depressed. This condition actually has a name, and it's called seasonal affective disorder.
Our last piece of advice is to take care of your mental health in the same way that you take care of your physical health while in grad school. Also, please take care of your physical health while you're in grad school. In other words, if you are feeling mentally drained, go see your healthcare provider. University campuses usually have great mental health care resources. At the University of Washington, where we are, we have free access to trained therapists, including walk-in sessions and scheduled appointments, and we encourage you to seek out the resources available at whatever institution you go to. Many graduate students will talk to a therapist a couple of times in their PhD program, and this is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of.
Okay, so to sum up, the journey through the PhD is a long winding path with few obvious milestones, which can lead to anxiety about whether or not you're making progress. However, you will constantly be surrounded by other graduate students who experience the same challenges.
And although it may feel like you need to work all of the time, your productivity will be maximized if you schedule time for non-work activities, particularly things that get you outside in the winter. And finally, if you are even slightly concerned about your mental health, we strongly encourage you to take advantage of the healthcare resources available to you on campus.
We hope this advice helps you take control of your mental health during your PhD program so that you can focus on the excitement of developing novel research projects. Nah. Crap, let me start that over.